Hello. It's been an interesting year. Many of you have probably already taken stock on what you accomplished or didn't accomplish for this year, and I figured I would. My battery died. So, here are the 10 things that happened to me in 2020. Starting off at number 10, I started a vlog. Right? Yeah.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So I started a vlog. I wanted to document my journey. I wanted to do something creative because I spent a few years out of the creative game. I used to be a big time drawer. I was average at best. And I wanted to create something again. So these vlogs were the outlet for that. And we did a really good job at first, and then something significant happened, which we'll talk about later on. And I didn't feel like vlogging after that. I did not have any desire to do it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to mess with it. I didn't want to do the time. But I wanted to get back into it now. I have processed a lot of things emotionally, and I've gotten to a better place in my life. And I wanted to start these back up again because they're fun. I like doing these. Number 9, I bought a gun.
I packed that thing too, so you come around this way, you will get caught.
Now, this might seem kind of strange to you. Why is this one on the list, right? Because for a while, things were getting real stupid. Back in April, May timeframe, National Guard was getting called in. There's a lot of protests going on, a lot of riots. I looked around at our house and I said, we don't have any type of protection. And that's something that I think is really important. So, purchased a firearm. Got a 1911 Colt. I'm just kidding, not a Colt. It's a Rock Island 1911. And tried to make it my everyday carry. That did not work at all. I am fat. So that was not successful. But it is a good home defense weapon. It's mobile, and I actually think we got it with our first stimulus check. Number 8, we bought a house. As you can see, I am in it right now. This is the basement. So we bought a house. This was our first home that we've ever purchased. We bought it in September, so later in the year of 2020. And holy cow, is it hard to buy a house. Not hard if you're not picky, but Betsy and I are extremely picky, so it was very, very hard for us to buy a house. I think we ended up looking at like 70 or 80 different houses before we were actually able to purchase this home here. The Colorado market is absolutely nuts. It is so crazy. The houses fly off of the market like literally a day or two after they go on. So the nice thing about that is we're not going to have any problem selling our house when it's time for us to leave and go to the next place that the Army has for us, right? But we bought our house. It is a 3-bed, 2-bath. It's got a basement, which I'm in currently. It's got a fireplace right over here. And then it also has a garage, 2-car garage. It's got a nice backyard for Gun to run around everywhere. And we just love it. We love our house. On post housing, if you're ever wondering, takes all of your BAH, which is your basic allowance for housing. So as a sergeant, E5, with 8 years in the military, I was making around $1,830 in BAH, and they were taking all of that for a 1,200 square foot townhouse. We now have a 1,600 square foot house with a 2-car garage, and we're paying about $1,636. So we're actually pocketing about $200. And they just raised the BAH rates here in Colorado Springs to $2,000, so we're going to be pocketing around $4,000. So that's really good. I don't know why we didn't buy a house sooner. I think I might know why, because after 2 weeks of owning our home, our furnace died. But that was more of an issue that we did, not knowing to ask the right questions and to get like an HVAC specialist to come and do a home inspection. So it's our bad. Cost us $8,000.
What?
Very costly mistake, but that's why you have savings. On to number 7. We had a child. We had our beautiful daughter named River on May 13th of this year. And it was such an awesome experience. It was at the height of COVID, where no one knew what anything was. No one knew what COVID was. Everyone was terrified. We basically were flying by the seat of our pants because we had 0 birthing classes. Betsy was an absolute rock star. She was in labor for about 2 days.
Excuse me? A baking powder?
There was one night where we stayed up the whole entire night, and I became an expert lower back rubber. And she probably wanted to kill me multiple times, but we went on a lot of walks. And finally, at like 8 o'clock at night on the 13th, we had River. And she's been a delight. She's about ready to turn 8 months here soon. We're super excited for everything that she's going to be. She already has a ton of personality. It is just, it's a handful sometimes. So awesome experience. I love being a dad so far, and I think I'm only gonna love it more as time goes on. Number 6, I started investing in stocks.
Now, the key to making money in a situation like this is to position yourself now before the settlement. Because by the time you read about it in the Wall Street Journal, it's already too late.
This is actually how we paid for our down payment on our house, and it actually happened on a CQ shift that I had in early March. So right when they announced that we were going into lockdown, the stock market crumbled. All the stocks dipped by 20 to 30%. And I took a look around, and I hadn't invested in stocks prior to that, but I said, this is a good opportunity, and I went in on it, and boy, did it pay off. I figured, any stock that I invested in, no matter what it was probably going to have some type of return because of this unparalleled experience, right? And it did for the most part. And it was really a great opportunity to get my feet in the water. Ended up doubling my money pretty easily, and now I'm kind of addicted. I'm hooked as an investor. I like it. It's fun. I had a bit of a gambling problem at one point with the casinos. Not like anything crazy, but I would quickly realize that I had spent hours at the casino without trying to. So this is my new way of gambling, but it's much more calculated because it's larger sums of money. So on to number 5, I completed my very first 4x4x48.
Wow!
There's a video on my channel. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. Go check it out.
Wow!
But I ran 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. It ended up being 48 miles over the course of 2 days.
Wow.
And I had never ran more than 6 or 7 miles.
Wow, that's pretty good.
At any given point. So it was a huge undertaking. I was the only one in the battalion to do it solo.
Wow.
There was an option to do it as a team of 4, and it paid off big time. The last couple laps, the sergeant major of our battalion ran with me.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And we had a great conversation about some special forces stuff and some things I'm trying to do in the future, and it was just a really good opportunity.
Wow.
On to number 4, I missed out on an NTC rotation. Now, for those of you who don't know, NTC is the National Training Center. It's out in California in the middle of the desert. Is a place that we go to a lot. I've been to NTC. This would have been my 4th time going. But COVID does this really interesting thing where it, limits stuff. So basically, we were tested prior to leaving for NTC. And during that time, I had come in contact, unbeknownst to me, with someone who had COVID. So I was put on a 2-week quarantine. Half the company leaves for California. The rest of us were all in contact with that person at one point or another, stayed. This puts a huge stress on the people that left, right? So they leave, go to their thing. I get ready to leave, get a phone call late one night saying, "You're not going." Nuts, because I'm the only communications person in our company that was able to go. So now they are out in the middle of the desert without any form of communications support. Luckily, we've done some mentoring and some teaching and things like that to help soldiers so that if I ever got shot, they would know what to do when I was gone. So they were all right. No one died. It was a good training opportunity for them, but I felt so wrong being back home. Number 3, I installed a garage gym. This is what it looks like. I did this garage gym over the course of a couple months. It involves me driving 60 miles to basically Canyon City, Colorado, to get horse stall mats. They are 3x8, whatever that is. They thick. And I got those horse mats, and then I got some workout equipment. I have those brute force sandbags, which you'll see a lot more in videos in the future. And then most recently, I installed with a lot of effort a pull-up bar. So I'll be doing a lot more pull-ups, and I got a rowing machine as well. So there's only 2 things left that I need to get. One of them is Aerodyne bike, and the other is a teeter hang-up to help with recovery. So installed a home gym. Love it. Use it pretty much every single day. It's such a great opportunity, especially now with the gyms being closed, or like you have to wear a mask. I had a 450 PR deadlift in a mask. But even then, it was just dumb. I didn't like it. Was not a fan. So, number 2, Betsy and I celebrated our 5th year anniversary. So this past May marked our 5-year anniversary. And unfortunately, Corona hit, so we didn't have the opportunity to go out and do anything. But still, 5 years, like flown by. I love her very, very much, and she's such an awesome friend, and she kicks my butt when she needs to, and she takes care of our house, and she takes care of our child, and she works hard. She just does a lot of stuff. Just really blessed. Just really love her a lot. That's all I have to say about that. And number 1. So I said goodbye to my friend and my mentor. My father passed away on the 4th of July this year, and he died from a sudden heart attack at 55. And really, folks, this is what has propelled me into the state that I am now. I spent a long time grieving. I spent about 2 months just not being the same person. I gained a lot of weight, and I just wasn't in a good space. Luckily, we were getting ready to go to NTC, so I had a lot of time to distract myself. But I finally realized, that I realized a couple things. Okay. So number 1, there was a time where Betsy and I were debating on whether we should go active duty in the first place. And basically I said, I love being close to our family. I love my speech and debate team. I love being in Iowa because we're comfortable. This is where we've grown up our whole life. And she said, yeah, but just think about how much different or better our life could be if we went active duty. What would we be missing out on? So obviously we went active duty, but the thing that you have to realize is if I played it safe and I stuck with what I knew, I still would have paid the price. Because 2 years after we went active duty, my dad dies. And now one of the reasons I stayed home is now no longer there. And now I would have wasted 2 years of my life playing it safe and then it would have been even harder to go active duty. The other thing I realized is that you have to understand that my dad was the most amazing human being I've ever met in my life. He was so great, such a great mentor, really cared for the community, cared for everyone around him, did so much work, and really put others before himself. Truly an example of what a man is supposed to look like. But he had a weight issue. And he had this weight issue his whole entire life. And he struggled with this weight issue his whole entire life. And by no means do I think that my dad was not a good person because of his weight. But I strongly believe to this day that he left about 30 years of life on the table. 30 years that would have been there if he had taken different choices in his life. If he had gotten into exercise, if he had watched what he ate better, if he had addressed the emotional eating and things that he had to deal with. I strongly, strongly believe that my dad was supposed to be here today. But because of the choices that he made in his life, he's not. And what frustrates me the most is he was such a great guy. And he was such a great mentor. He was such a great leader. And he was the best dad I could have ever asked for. He was my best friend. And I feel like I got gypped out of those 30 extra years. So, what does that mean for me? That means that not only am I going to continue to pursue fitness, but now I'm going to pursue it at a much more internal level. Taking care of myself, making sure I'm the best version of myself, now isn't just a slogan, it's a way of life, because I've seen what happens to those around you when you don't. I've seen what happens when you have all of these good intentions, yet you don't follow through with them. So, going into 2021, this is a year of self-realization for me. It's a year of making myself better, and it's already started. My eating habits have changed. I can't eat greasy food. I can't eat junk food. I can't eat sweets and sugar. It just jacks my body up because I've been eating a healthier lifestyle. I've been focusing more on my sleep. My dad would sleep for 3 to 4 hours a night, and I strongly believe that was another reason why he passed away so early. So I've been focusing on my sleep, getting better sleep, better recovery, things of that nature. And then focusing more on cardio, not focusing as much on strength, but still incorporating strength into my workouts as I prepare for selection. That's what the future holds for me. Segueing into that. I started the vlog back up. We're back, and we're going to stay that way. I asked Betsy, I said, I don't want to do the vlog if it's going to detract from the 2 to 3 hours of personal time I get with her a night. And she said it won't. And she said that if it does start to detract, that she would let me know. So I feel comfortable going into this because editing seems to be one of the longest and hardest parts of vlogging. And then selection's still on my mind. It's the only thing I want to do with my life anymore. I don't want to continue my MOS. I think that there's nothing wrong with my MOS, but it's not God's desire for me to be in that MOS. I think He has bigger things in plan for me, and I've spent way too long leaving this mediocre life and not realizing my full potential. So this next year of 2021 is devoted to pushing myself to realize my full potential. That's better habits, that's better sleep, that's waking up in the morning, which I haven't done for years, and running. That's like literally the one thing that's holding me back, people, is waking up in the morning and running. And for so long, I haven't been able to do it. But now with better sleep, I'm getting up without any issue. And now the last part is just running, which I haven't been doing because this weird time between Christmas and New Year's exists. And I'm just like, I don't want to do anything. So we're going to be better. I hope you join us for the journey. I hope you find inspiration in the things that we talk about, the stuff that I show you, the stuff that I do over this next year. hopefully things will go back to normal this next year. And if they don't, you know what? We're just going to continue to focus on ourselves and get better, right? So that's the end of the vlog for the day. I'll catch you guys in the next one. 4 principles, 1 goal. Love you guys. Bye.
Hey, go, you the best. Hey, say it with the chest. Hey, yeah, wave 'em high, side to side. Let 'em know we gon' rise, we gon' shine. Hey, I need you to fight for me.
And many of you have probably already taken stock